So now we're going to make an AeroPress. This is an incredibly popular way of making a really good cup of coffee. Really easy to do, very simple, not a lot that can go wrong. And, well, over to you really, Henry.
Okay, so the device itself is basically a modern conception of the cafetiere, created in America. And basically it's so easy to do. You can take this away with you camping, on a bike trip, whatever. So if you've got that handheld grinder, you've got a flask of hot water, you've got an AeroPress, then you can make coffee. So first and foremost, we're going to weigh out 15 grams, which is already done. It's got it in said grinder here. Have you ground that?
Yep, already ground.
Wow.
So just well ahead of me right now.
Oh, get in. Okay.
It's just a treat to do that we do every time.
So you'll see it comes in 3 parts. So we've got the main part here, the filter, the plunger, and as opposed to your normal cafetiere, there's a lot, because of the vacuum there, the rubber plunger, there's a lot of suction there, and that's going to help with the extraction. So going to take the water filter paper. There we go. It's really important to wet this beforehand. It's the same as all the other processes. We want to get rid of that starchy taste that could potentially taint the coffee. We also need enough water just to heat the main chamber. So first, I'm going to take this part here of the AeroPress. That just gives me a bit of stability. So you can see that these two fit together nicely.
And that like easily just put on there, didn't it?
Done, just like that. If I could just have a bit of water, Rich. Mm-hmm. Wow, thank you very much indeed. So, just going to pour a bit in there.
This water has been preheated to 95 degrees. Do you think it matters? Between 93 and 98? Or?
Yeah, you've got... temperature water is going to affect the flavour. The hotter it is, potentially going to burn your tongue. So with the siphon, you had a flame there, so it was a constant, it was already at a temperature, it's maintained, but it's also increased, so potentially you are going to burn yourself. So we also don't want to burn the coffee. So what we've done here is we've wet the paper, the chamber's warmed through, we're ready to go. So the next step is to add the coffee. So I'm just going to pour in. There we go. That's every last grind. There we go, just gonna put that over there. Next step is, as we did with the others, is to bloom. So we're gonna pour a bit of water over the grind just to expose them.
So that's just a little bit of water to get the gases going.
Yeah.
Get the gases released.
Yeah, you can see the bubbles, you can see the crema as well. It's bubbling away. Going to give that a few minutes. And then shortly we're going to be adding this. And it's important, safety first, to hold onto the main body of the AeroPress and add this. So
you've poured a little bit of water in there and you're going to leave it for 60, 90 seconds?
Yeah.
2 minutes?
Yeah. I can pour off the excess there. Just pour that away. And now we can pour the rest. There's 2 ways of using the AeroPress. There's this method or the inverted. So we could give that a little stir if you want. Can you see the crema's change colour? I'm now going to add the main part. Just going to leave that there a few minutes. And the whole process is going to take about 15 to 20 seconds. We want a slow plunge. I'm using a frothing jug there. It's just perfect for the extraction itself, and also easy to pour at the end of it.
So you can do this straight into a cup?
Yeah, straight into a cup. Again, heat the cup. And as this is metal, it's a conductor, so we've got a nice heated vessel, and the cup's already heating through.
So you're just forcing this down?
Yeah, What I'm doing is there's a lot of resistance. I'm forcing down. You can hear it dripping down. You can see there's a little bulbous mound. And can you hear that? That hiss. It means the brew's come to an end. We're done.
So straightforward, so easy to do.
Got our cup there, ready to go. So this is going to be a bit more flavoursome than, say, the Chemex. It's quite on a par with the Siphon in a depth of flavour. Incredibly popular, incredibly easy. Took literally 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, done. So again, we can let that cool for a little bit.
So tell me about the actual timings and take me through what just happened, because it was so simple and so straightforward. It was just coffee and water, but there's more to it than that. So just take me step by step on what just happened.
So remember, we did the same as we did with all the other process. We wet the filter. We want to get rid of any of that starch flavour that could potentially come through. Pour off the excess. We then start the bloom. So we wet the coffee, pour off the excess. That's going to drip through, extract through. We don't want that. It's going to be quite crazy in flavour, so we can just get rid of that. Then we add the rest of the water, potentially give it a stir. You don't necessarily have to, but some believe that helps with the flavour. And then it's a question of a slow plunge. You don't want to force it through. You want to allow it to take its time. Good brewing process. As with all of these brewing methods, it's allowing a certain amount of time. If you force it, you're going to throw the flavour. If you leave it too long, you're going to get a bitter, burnt tasting coffee because the coffee's been exposed to water for too long. So those are the variables which will ensure you get a decent cup of coffee at the end of it. And as I said, you can drink this literally anywhere. See how easy that was. Water, coffee, AeroPress, mug, done.
Fantastic. And just timing wise, how long do you leave it before you plunge, would you say? 90 seconds?
Yeah.
It depends on your flavour, I suppose. It depends on your palate. If you like, I don't like really strong coffee, so I wouldn't leave it for 2 minutes. I'd probably go for 60 seconds on an AeroPress.
Yep, okay. You're allowing it to bloom, and again, it's going to come down to individual taste, but you're looking for about a minute, minute and a half.
And then job done.
Yeah, should we give it a go?
Let's do it. I love the way the AeroPress is so simple, so easy to do. So that was 15 grams of coffee.
Yep.
And then allowed to bloom for a minute, minute and a half. Now, we talked about yield earlier.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit? Explain a little bit about what yield is while I enjoy this coffee.
So basically, we've got the ground coffee, 15 grams, 240 grams of water. Once those two combine and we force through the coffee, we expect to have 210 grams on the scales ending up in the cup. That's what we're looking for, the end product. And for all of the brew methods, there's an expected yield, a sort of ratio, if you like, of the coffee in its dry form with the water together. Once wet and once brewed, we'll end up with the yield. How's that for you?
I really like that. It's so different. There's so much fruit at the front of it.
Yeah.
It's like really like front of your mouth. It's like, yeah, man, let's get excited. It's got a purity about it.
How does it compare to the Siphon, taste-wise?
I think the Siphon has a longer taste profile.
Right.
And I like the clarity of the Siphon. And you get more butter in the Siphon.
More butter?
You get more caramelly butter in the Siphon.
Okay. And again, that's going to come down to individual taste, because Rich's taste buds are completely different to mine and completely different to yours. And also taste profiles, they'll change as well. My taste for certain coffees has changed. So I like a lot of light roast now.